a lot of people ask me what my rock bottom was, guys. And for some people, they have a rock bottom. Some people have a moment where it just switches for them and they decide, that's it, I want to turn my life around. For me, for as far back as I can remember, I already knew that I wanted alcohol out of my life. I already knew that alcohol and coke were preventing me from being the person that I was always supposed to be. And I just didn't know how to stop that. I didn't know how to stop my addiction. I didn't know how to stop wanting to be like in self-destruct mode all the time. And I never got on with alcohol. I was drinking from a really young age. I started drinking probably when I was 13 or 14, messing about with like Bacardi breezers and stuff like that. And it never had a good effect on me. Like I always ended up arguing with people. I always used to black out. And, there were so many times when I would say never again, never again. And then a few days later, I would just give into it and go back to it. And my life was like that for the best part of 18 years. But there wasn't one significant moment that made me think, that's it, that's my rock bottom. I have had lots of rock bottoms, and one of those was when I last relapsed, and I got to 150 days, relapsed, and I spent £800 on coke in the space of a couple of days, and I was suicidal. I was a real mess after that, and I didn't want to be here anymore, and that's just one of the many rock bottoms that I've had, and it sounds like it is insanity because I'd gone through so many shit things, and as a result of drink and coke and whatever, but it was never enough. Like nothing was ever enough to stop me. And I hated the fact that I was torn between this person that wanted to get clean and sober and this person that just didn't know how to. And all along, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be because I already had the answers there. Like I already knew that my life was going to be better without it. It was just the fear holding me back, really. But there were so many different things I used to get up to, guys. Like, the people I'd message, the things I'd say, the things I'd end up doing, the places I'd end up. And I always said I'd never end up smoking crack and things like that. And I ended up going back to someone's house and doing that one night. That was one of my many rock bottoms because in my opinion, like I'd always looked down on anybody that had done that. Like, so for me, that was a real biggie. And then there were times when obviously I was single where I'd end up sleeping with people that I didn't really like know very well or whatever. Or I'd have parties. There were times when I slept with people I didn't even remember. And, it just turned me into a completely different person. It was like these two polar opposites of the people. Like there was me, there was the normal me that was, a normal, nice person. And then this person that would just do the most ridiculous things. And then I would have to live with the shame and the guilt. And I would be riddled with all those feelings of self-hatred for so long. And, I don't let that slip. I don't forget about that because it's important to remember that that's why I started this journey. But honestly, if you're at a point where you're thinking that, you're sick to death of saying the same thing every week, never again, and then going back to it, it can change, guys. Like, obviously, you have to really want it, and if you think it's going to get any better and it's going to being, it's going to be more fun or whatever, it's not. If you are like I was, you're going to waste like 18 years of your life. It's going to be down the drain. You may as well just get your money and set it on fire because it's a complete fucking waste of money. But yeah, you don't have to have had a rock bottom, guys. So don't think that just because you haven't had a rock bottom that you're not ready to stop. Because if you can see it's spiraling out of control and you can see that it's impacting your life in a negative way, that's all you need. That should be enough. We don't need to have to hit rock bottom to change it up. But if you're at a point where you're thinking, actually this isn't for me anymore, then that's okay. And you can do something about it. You don't have to wait until your life is completely fallen apart.